Hi, everybody. I'm Mrs. Holler. I am going to be your child's kindergarten teacher this year. So, in case you weren't able to make it to our open house on Monday at 9:30, I just wanted to go ahead and give you the information that you might have missed. I am Mrs. Holler, and I have a teaching assistant, Mrs. Atchison, and we will be working with your students this year. We've been working together for the last 5 school years. We love to read, and we are huge believers in learning through play. So, might be a little bit more difficult this school year, but we are going to make it happen as often as we possibly can. It's going to be different this year, but we are looking forward to making things engaging, having fun, taking breaks, and building relationships with your kids. So, I, of course, like I said, am Mrs. Holler. I am your child's kindergarten teacher. My family includes myself, my husband, Adam, my daughter, Hazel, and our dog, Rascal, who is not pictured, but I'm sure you will see throughout the school year on the computer. I have my bachelor's degree in elementary education and my master's degree in elementary reading, and this is my 6th year teaching kindergarten. Mrs. Atchison is your child's teaching assistant in the classroom. This is Mrs. Atchison right here. Her family includes her husband and her sons, Arthur and Joshua. They are both in high school. This is her 8th year working for the school district, and she loves spending time with her family, traveling, and going to the movies. All right, here you are going to see our kindergarten daily schedule. You may or may not know that Mondays are asynchronous days. That means on Mondays, any learning that your child does is going to be on their own time, and just by themselves. They will not be meeting with me or Mrs. Atchison on those days. So we're going to follow the same schedule every single day. We will check in and do our morning routines, which is probably going to include some handwriting work, writing our names, writing letters, eventually writing sentences and snap words. We'll move into a read aloud time, do our reading workshop, math, phonics, writing. We'll do some calendar and number sense activities, and then we will spend the last 10 minutes of the day doing a checkout, a closing circle. So something I should have mentioned, kindergarten is going to be a little bit different from all the other grade levels from 1 through 12. So all those other grade levels are going to be on Zoom with their teachers throughout the 5-hour school day. In kindergarten, things are going to look a little bit different. Kids will be on Zoom with us from 8 a.m. or 8:30 a.m. until 11 a.m. every day. And then after that, from 11 to 12:10, we're going to expect students to be either on their iPads or near their iPads so that they can meet in small groups with us teachers for 10 to 15 minutes once or twice a week. And then at 12:10 to 12:55, the whole school is going to have their lunch break. This is going to be a great time for your child to charge their iPads. Of course, we want it fully charged in the morning, but we want their iPads to be charged, and we understand that being on Zoom can really suck the battery down. So this is a great time for charging. Then in the afternoon, they will have some seesaw activities that they can complete on their own, so not with the teacher, and they'll be able to do some choice time activities as well. This is kind of confusing, but we're really trying to work our way into kindergarten because we realize everything online feels way longer than it does in person. So the district has given us kind of a transition schedule. So our whole first week of learning, we are going to spend only about 30 minutes a day together on Zoom. And then I am going to try to meet individually with every single person for 10 minutes every day for that first week of school. All right. The second week of school, we're going to try and be on Zoom for about an hour with the whole class every day. And then we're still going to try and keep those same 10-minute meetings every day with each student. We'll have assessments to give, and we just want to get to know your students one-on-one so that it feels a little bit more personal whenever we're in the online classroom. Eventually, hopefully about a month into this, we'll really be hitting all 2.5 hours together before we move into small group and asynchronous work. Okay, attendance. I know this is way different than the spring if you had a child in school last spring. So student attendance is mandatory every single day, Monday through Friday, even though on Mondays they are going to be working on their own, not with the teacher. We'll be checking in to make sure the kids have completed the work that we've left for them. Us teachers are required to take attendance every single day, and Tuesday through Friday every day, they'll need to be on Zoom at 8:30 a.m. That's when we'll get our school day started. Some of these platforms and apps, these are some of the things that your child is absolutely going to need on their computer. And I did my very best to get iPads set up, but we had some technical difficulties. And so your child's, like, all these apps may not be on their home screen yet, but we will work together to get them there. Canvas, Zoom, Seesaw, ExactPath, Epic, and then parents, you'll need Class Dojo on your own devices, like on your phone, could be on your computer, a tablet, whatever you have. We'll be spending most of our time on Seesaw and Zoom, but especially on those days where kids are working by themselves, we're going to want them to be on ExactPath. Oops. Okay, so from parents, basically, I think it's going to be a little bit more work for you right up front, but eventually as kids get used to the iPads and expectations and the apps and getting logged into things, they will need less and less of your help. So really what we want from you is to help your child get logged into Zoom at 8:30 every morning, Tuesday through Friday. Ask your child daily if they need help with something, and talk with your child about our learning expectations. Of course, this is way different from meeting at school in the classroom. And so it's different. It's different from all of us. So teachers are going to have to work to learn new ways to work with your kiddos, and we're going to expect that same thing from students, that they're still working hard to be a part of our learning community. So they might need some help understanding what that will look like. Parent communication. So to hear from me, I really want you guys to have the Class Dojo app. I am not going to use that for behavior management, so I'm not going to be giving students points. I'm not going to be using it for students really at all. I mostly just want you guys to have that app because it is a great communication tool. So on Class Dojo, I'm hoping to give each of you your child's password list so that if they get logged out of something and they need help, you can help them get them signed back in. I'm also hoping to have announcements and reminders on Class Dojo. So make sure you have the app and make sure you have the notifications turned on so that if we share something with you, you know about it. These are some of the virtual classroom rules we are going to be following. First one, so important, is to be on time. We want kids to act like they're actually at school, and we want them to sit in one spot during class. So maybe that spot is going to be in their bedroom, like in a beanbag chair or something. Perfect, that's great, as long as they can do their learning there. Maybe that spot is going to be on their bed with some kind of tray or table. Perfect, that's great, as long as they can sit in that one spot and have all of their learning materials. We want students to keep themselves muted unless it's their time to talk. Keep their video turned on. Raise their hand if they need to say something. Listen to others, and especially have fun and do your best. And here we say no eating during class, but we do realize that we're not kindergarten. Since we're having shortened learning days, we're not going to be having like a true separate break time for snack. So we will allow eating during one of our subjects so that students can have a little pick-me-up, have a little snack so that they're not getting too hungry and so that they can do their best learning. We don't want it to be a huge ordeal or be distracting to other students. So that's something kind of to talk about with your kiddo. Maybe talk about some easy snacks they can grab and eat while they're listening and learning. So that might be crackers, or it might be an applesauce pouch. It might be a piece of fruit, banana, or something like that. Just something simple, and that's not going to be disruptive or wild. Behavior. I don't know if you can see that. So my face might be in the way. But for behavior, again, this is going to be different than if we were in the actual classroom. The first time we notice a behavior with a student, we'll give them a verbal warning to ask them to stop whatever it is they're doing, probably distracting behavior. If they don't listen to that warning, we will remove them from the classroom and put them into the Zoom waiting room for 4 minutes. That's to let them have an opportunity to calm down and get themselves ready to learn. After that, if they keep causing disruptions in our Zoom classroom, we will put them back in the waiting room and hopefully eventually be able to make that parent contact, which will be more difficult since we can't leave the students in the Zoom room on their own. So we'll still be working with what and how that might look. But really what it comes down to is that compliant student behaviors are so important during remote learning. So do your best to talk with your child about why they need to be on their very best behavior and what it will help them with as long as they are on their very best behavior. I don't anticipate having very many problems, but I do want us all to be prepared in case problems arise. This is my contact information if you need to get a hold of me. Right here, I have my phone number listed. This is my Google Voice phone number, but I will get calls and texts through that if you need anything. If you want, go ahead and save that number in your phone. I think I've already texted with a few families. I've class dojoed with quite a few families. So if that is how you want to communicate with me, great. Keep it up. You can also email me. My email is mholler@sps186.org. Or if you need, I'm not really going to be at the school ever, but if you need something and I haven't answered or I'm not able to ask or answer your question, then you can call the school at 525-3208. So that is all I have for your open house and meet the teacher. I am so excited to learn with you all this school year. Bye.